Hello and welcome to Understanding the ATS Process. ATS stands for Applicant Tracking System. And if you don't know about the Applicant Tracking System, you're already behind the 8 ball when you're looking for a job in 2019. Most people send in resumes that we call blind resume submission. And what that means is you go out and you look for your job listings. And this could be any of the job listing sites, whether it's Indeed, LinkedIn, ZipRecruiter, Ladders, Dice, Monster, you name it. And you go through the listings looking for a job that you fit. You find the job that you believe you fit for, and you think you can add value to the position. The job post is less than 3 days old, and so you've got a chance of going ahead and you want to send in the resume. But keep in mind that sending in a blind resume that is not ATS compliant results in about 98% of the resumes sent in to be rejected. So a blind submission versus a delivered by hand submission is important. We've already established that about 98% of the resumes sent in blindly get rejected and end up in the trash. The thing that you can do to help yourself immensely to network, and to network. If you can get somebody to hand deliver your resume, that cuts the rejection level in half. So in other words, instead of 98%, we're going 50-50. And that's a great incentive to go there. So if you can find somebody with inside the company to hand that resume to the HR department, that's going to help immensely. Remember that once you get past the ATS system, the average recruiter is going to spend 6.2 seconds per resume before they either put it in the trash or take it to the next one. So you have to make a good impression. So an applicant tracking system is really responsible for tracking the applicant through the job hunting process for the company. So we try to figure out who wants to work for us, and we have a system that monitors that and manages that through the process. There's a massive amount of rules that the ATS process requires before sending a resume to a recruiter or to a company. There's just a lot of rules. And there are so many rules and so little time. Just one small spelling mistake can get you rejected at that point. One formatting mistake can get you rejected at that point. So resume scanning is a huge job. And today, it's normally done by an applicant tracking system or the machine. So most people want to know, how does the ATS process work? Well, if you think about this big machine as the ATS process, let me show you how it kind of works. So normally you start off with a job description from the company. The second part of it is you have a set of parameters that you apply to that job description. And what that means is that what are the top keywords, what's most important, what are you focused on, all of those. And when you do that, you basically make a job profile. Then you take an ATS compliant resume and you insert that into the system. The ATS process compares the job description that we put out there to the resume submitted, and then it calculates what's going on with that. Is there a close enough position from the resume you submitted that matches the job description? Well, about 98% end up in the trash, and only 2% end up with the recruiter. Having a resume that's going to give you the best chance with the recruiter is what we're trying to do. So, the applicant tracking system summary. Number 1, always try to network if possible. Try to get somebody to hand in your resume for you. That's going to get you past the applicant tracking system in many cases, and it's going to increase your ability to get that job because it's not going to be filtered out. Over 80% of the companies today in the US use some form of an ATS. If blind submission is the only way to go about it, it's the only way you can get your resume into their hands, make sure it's a compliant resume, an ATS compliant resume. And if you need to know more about that, look at ATS Slayer for some examples of what you can do to make it better. Check your resume over and over and over again for any mistakes. The smallest mistake could get you disqualified. Send a text-based resume. Don't get in bed with the formatting and the importing. Try to make a text-based one. It's the one that you can most guarantee is going to be imported correctly and not going to cause problems. And finally, focus on the top 3 things that you think that job description is talking about, and make sure that you follow that through if you're going to do a cover letter with those top 3 things. That gives you a little bit more background on what the applicant tracking system is, how it works, and how you can get started about getting around the applicant tracking process. Thanks a lot for listening, and if you need more information, I hope you'll go to ATSslayer.com for more information. Thank you.